If I dress aggressively enough like it's spring, does that make spring come? These are the questions I need answered. Turns out just because you want it to be spring, that doesn't make the temperature in any way spring-like. Oh god. And welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little 2-in-1 video. It's going to be a brush out and it's also going to be a review of the Suavecita grooming spray that I recently got. Now I've seen so many vintage people using this for their sets and I really wanted to give it a go. So I've done kind of a Rita Hayworth set today and we're going to see how it comes out. So this is how the set is. You can see that the rollers are mostly set kind of more upright as opposed to just completely horizontal as I would normally do them, and that all of the rollers along the side are that way as well. My parting is along here, she says, I think. Yeah, along here. So it's a deep side parting and all of these rollers are going away from my face. The spray was really easy to use. You just take it, spray a little bit into the sections to dampen it up. It has a really nice berry smell, and then we're gonna see how well that came out. Don't feel as stiff as they do when I use my Lotta Body spray. I don't know whether that's an indicator as to how strong the set is. I don't know. We will find out. At the front, I tried to do really close to the hairline to kind of make sure that I wasn't going to get any sort of weird dent. They're coming out very, very ringleted. They just feel really soft, whereas usually when I use my Lotta Body everything feels a little bit more sort of stiff. And that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. We'll see how it goes. So this is how the curls have come out. Now I'm going to take my Tangle Teaser and brush everything through. Because this hairstyle is supposed to be kind of, you know, big and fluffy and everything, starting with the Tangle Teaser I thought would be a bit easier. Okay, so that's the initial blush out. Brush out is everything's, you know, super cozy, super fluffy. But now taking a little bit of the Lay Right pomade and then we're going to brush through some more. Like a sort of Rita Hayworth inspired hair set is that obviously her hair is a lot longer than mine is, so it's not going to come out exactly the same. So that looks very pretty. I like sort of how that's coming out. Maybe leave it a little bit fluffier than I normally would. Whoa, why does my hair look so orange on camera? What's that about? Now these front bits are slightly bothering me. I definitely don't feel they're as kind of like solid. Maybe they normally would be. I don't know if I need to do like some back combing or something. I don't usually do that, but I think it might help maybe. And then I've given myself a massive line where the backcomb bit meets the not quite backcombed bit. I can't tell whether I'm just not as good at this setting pattern or whether I'm not used to my hair being this fluffy or what the deal is. Stick this in there, that will probably help. And now I'm going to check the back, just to stop fiddling with the front for a bit mainly. Just going to check out what the back is doing. I like this side. I like this. I think this is nice. So I turn around, I have my vanity here and I'm taking my hand mirror. Oh. So I like how that is all looking. Oh, I'm still not sold on this front like section. Don't know whether now it looks too much like all of my other hairstyles, and the point was that I wanted this to be a bit fluffier, a bit different. It's too much of the same. I don't know. I'm going to tuck that bit away in a brush. I think this bit is really kind of not as well, it doesn't feel as stiff as my hair normally does. Which is a big thing for me. I like my hair to feel very solid. I also brush it a lot, and I feel like the more I'm brushing it, the more this is kind of coming out. Oh god, I've completely messed it up now. I should have left it how it was a couple minutes ago. Oh. I'm overanalyzing everything now, so I'm just gonna leave it. 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 And I'm gonna stick a flower in it, and that's gonna be me done. Obviously, at the top here, the main problem I'm having is mainly in relation to my roots, because I'm getting like these little lines. So I'm just gonna stick a flower in the top. This is the finished look. Quite entirely sort of Rita Hayworth, but I still think it is really, really pretty and very 1950s and very nice. My thoughts on the my thoughts on the Suavecita grooming spray. Okay, so I really liked how it smelled. I liked how easy it was to apply to the hair. It's a really big bottle. I unfortunately had to get mine off Amazon because that is the only place I could find that sold it. And I had a gift card for Christmas, so I used that. I do think it has a pretty good hold. As you saw, I've had a bit of problem with this section, and I think I've had more. I don't think it's anywhere near as strong as a hold as I would get if I used my Lotta Body. So I think maybe when I want just a slightly not as completely stiff set, or I think maybe this would be a lot better after it's already been set and I'm setting it again. Maybe I'd use my Lotta Body for the first set and then this for any like touch-up sets over the next 3 or 4 days. I think that would probably work a bit better. But I do really like how this has come out, especially this side. It's really pretty. And it's left my hair nice and shiny and everything, so that is really, really good. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed seeing this video and that you enjoyed hearing my first impressions and seeing me brush out this set. Do let me know if you have tried the Suavecita pomade, not pomade, grooming spray, and what you thought and if it worked for you. So, as you can see, things didn't go so well. So basically I just went for a walk around my little area, getting that one walk a day in, and the weather outside is completely dry, really cold, with the mildest breeze. It's not even like a wind that whips you all around, just like as you're walking into it, there's a very light breeze, the kind that would make hair go like just barely slightly back. Doesn't even really ruffle my skirt, okay? And now my hair looks like this. So this is the state we're in. I haven't brushed it or touched it since I just came in from my walk. This is literally just what happened to it. I'm so annoyed. Okay, let's brush it and see. So I can tell that there's all that, like, remember I did hairspray this as well. The back is kind of okay. But like, look, I might as well not even have curled the front at all. Like, why did I bother doing the brush out this morning? And then by the end of the day, after one walk in not even humid weather, it looks like this. So yeah, I'm really disappointed, to be perfectly honest. It did not hold at all. There is no curl left in this entire side of my head, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think, and I coated everything really well with the setting spray, coated it all the way, combed it through exactly the same as I would with my normal setting lotion, and this just hasn't held up for me at all. So I liked the initial result this morning, but I don't think I will use it unless I have already set my hair a few times and I need to get one last set out of it. I think I might use it then, so I'm not adding too much more product in, because, you know, sets after a few days, they do hold a bit better. But I'm not going to be using this on, like as I did yesterday, on my clean hair for the first set. I'm just going to stick to my Lotta body. It works way better than this does. Yeah, it's worth noting I have really thick hair. You can probably tell that doesn't hold curls all the time, but it holds with my Lotta body, and it just hasn't held with this Suavecita grooming spray very well. So unfortunately, I know it's not the best to leave a review on. Just because it didn't work for me doesn't mean that it might not work better for you. I think I will still play around with it, because at the end of the day I spent £16 on it, so I'm not going to waste it. Yeah, the back is held up okay. Which really confuses me. So that is it for this section, for this of the video. I just had to add this in at the end, because obviously when I use a setting spray, as this claims to be, I would like it to actually set my curls, and for me to be able to leave the house without the mere presence of oxygenated air making it straight again. So that is unfortunately my first impression review of the Suavecita spray. I really like the way it smells, I like the way it applies, but it does absolutely nothing to actually hold a set in my hair. So yeah, there we go. Sorry. I will leave the links to my Lotta body setting lotion, which is a million times better than this, in the description down below, as well as all of the links to all of my social media and everything. So yeah. And that is all from me, and I love you all so very much. Remember to have courage and be kind, and all your dreams will come true. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Go back the other way. Do the forward dip and see how you begin to sway. Oh, oh, that Gaby, Gaby glide.